Hello and a warm welcome to Art House. I'm Melinda Akinlami. On the program today, it's all about group exhibitions from a set of artists who were trained to another category who just came together to exhibit. And I'll give you the details when the program returns. Select artists from in and out of Nigeria had a training program with the Art House Foundation. After staying with a team of professionals and acquiring new skills, they showcase all they have learned and more at the Art House space in Lagos.
It's the second time that Art House Foundation is showing off final works from the Artist Residency exhibition program titled At Work at the Space in Lagos. It's tailored strictly for young artists beyond the actions which Art House Contemporary is known for.
We started 10 years ago. In fact, this year is our 10th anniversary. And it was all about to showcase African art to the world. So we created a platform where secondary market could be established and where people could sell their works, where we promoted artists and did documentation. This is actually a branch of Art House Contemporary. It's called Art House Foundation. It is my foundation, so it's very close to my heart. And it's all about bringing in residents and having a resident organization over here in Lagos.
Only 7 artists made the cuts from a list of thousands who applied for the 3-month residency.
It gives opportunity for people to come to Lagos, to be in an environment that is safe and to have an interaction and a dialogue between Nigerian artists and foreign artists. So we like to have that blend where both sides are learning about each other. So it's quite a cultural exchange, and people really appreciate it because it's in a safe environment. And people have wanted to come to Lagos for a long time and do residency. We were one of the first residencies that started, and it has really proved fruitful because for 6 places, we get about 200 applicants a year from all over the world.
And the works of art displayed here are what they learned during the session, working across various media like painting, sculpture, photography, collage, textile, and more. It's an experience these creative minds won't forget in a hurry.
It was a good experience. It gave me the opportunity to experiment a bit. So I was able to experiment with new forms and come up with something that I was comfortable with and something I think is a bit sustainable for like a prolonged period of time.
Beyond being a platform to gain understanding and bounce ideas, this artist, Kadara Enyasi, explains how he was torn between 2 worlds in his quest for knowledge.
I say I work at African Artists Foundation, which is also another foundation, but then I had to split my time between working at this foundation and doing my residency at Art House, which was a bit tasking because that actually made me conceptualize the idea I was trying to work on. The fact that I believe memories are actions that we tend to repeat, and they're not necessarily new experiences, but then they're the same old experiences but in new nuanced forms.
But at the end of the day, it was worth it.
Being here gave me the opportunity to meet other Nigerian artists. Like, I know their names, but I never met them in person. So I was able to visit their studios, meet them in person, just talk with them a bit. And there were other ones I met outside of their studios. So it was a pleasant time meeting those people and being able to visit some galleries that had exhibitions running at the time. I was able to go to the Art X as well and witness other events that happened in Lagos.
Each artist has a peculiar style. For instance, Nengi Omuku's works of art is a bridge between where abstract meets reality, as one can have a sense of what she's trying to paint in her pieces.
My experimenting starts with this pink one. I was thinking about the human body and trying to see other options of showing a body. So it starts with this one, it's human, and then it starts transforming into something abstract. And then with the paintings behind me, it totally takes on a new life of its own as an abstract human form.
Jimmy Wane is a mixed media artist who uses all sorts of materials, including fabric, while discussing themes wrapped around identity and culture.
I work mainly in oil, but I like to combine materials because I have this thing for handmade items. So when I work, I try to make my work come out with this look, you know, like it would be handmade, you know. So I try to cut out some materials and paste them, just putting different things together to see how they can work.
Memories, that's what Kadara Inyasi is creating, and it has several influences, but it always starts from the photography.
I was looking at works of Rotimi Fani Kayode, who was one of the first homoerotic photographers from Nigeria, but was not living in Nigeria because he had to, his family, they had to go away because that was the beginning of the Biafran War. So they moved to England, and he started making this portraits and self-portraits of himself and people, and they were mostly in the nude. And I found out they were very, very expressive. What I really found more interesting was the way he expressed the form of the body. And while I was doing that research on Fani Kayode, I was also doing research on John Hans Arp, who's a sculptor, and he really likes to express, like, I'll call them amoeboid structures, because they are, sometimes I feel like they have no like real definition to the way the shape is going. And then I was also looking at Reika Okubo, who is a Japanese designer, and she just released a collection that year, which she called the future of women's wear fashion. They were very, very John Hans Arp kind of sculptures, because she interpreted her clothes as sculptures, as protection. So that influenced the way I shot my photographs. I shot the body as a form as opposed as the human being itself, and that's like that was also reinterpreted in the collages and in the drawings as well, because with the starting point for me is always the photograph. From the photograph I tend to start producing collages and sculptures and also drawings after the photographs.
While others like Francois Barain delves into Nigerian movie industry, Thierry Nwosu explores characters and symbols that suggest implied narratives, Gloria Oyazabal Lodge talks about the African women the role of gender and identity, while Christian Nubai uses a carpet to look at the various textile practices.
It was really great. I shared the residency with a photographer, so it was great to see somebody that works in a different medium sort of exchange ideas. He's a French photographer, Francois. And it was a good, we bounced some ideas off each other because obviously we're working in different mediums, different projects. Overall, I think it was a good experience.
There's an array for the audience to choose from, and the CEO of Art House Foundation, Mrs. Kavita Chalorams, mentions the prizes most of the works go for.
We have some artists that are represented abroad, that already have gallery representation abroad and are already quite known. And so they have different prices. So it's all between, say, 100,000 going up to about 3.5 million naira.
The money raised from the exhibition will be plowed back into the foundation, so there will be funds to train the next set of artists.